So in one of my previous videos, I recommended everyone to invest in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency with their e-commerce earnings. So this video is basically going to elaborate on why Bitcoin is good and basically react to this video and arguments on why Bitcoin sucks. As always, I'd like to invite you guys to like this video, hit the subscribe button because that would really help. We don't really upsell you guys anything. My goal is just to provide you guys value every single day. And let's jump right into the video.
Here are 4 reasons why Bitcoin will fail. So first up, Bitcoin is inherently deflationary. Second reason Bitcoin will fail, although it's decentralized, it has been re-centralized, and this adds fees and security concerns. Third reason, Bitcoin is volatile. That's widely stated, and that hinders it from becoming a widely used currency. And the fourth reason Bitcoin will fail is that it wastes a lot of energy. One big flawed argument against Bitcoin is that it isn't worth anything, although the same can be said for the US dollar and other major global currencies.
Okay, so he apparently has some interesting credentials. Let's check it out. Is there anything we can look at? No, we can check out his okay, so there's this blog, posts once a month, so consistent.
Hey, my name's Brian.
Still consistently posting on YouTube once a month. All right, let's watch the video.
I've taken them off the gold standard. I'll link to a unique article in the comments below about currency and gold, I guess. But now they're only backed by trust, and that's further reinforced by the network effect. On top of that, modern government currencies are already digital. There are about $1.8 trillion of Federal Reserve notes in circulation, and that's a big number, but it's a small piece of the total money pie. The official M2 money supply is at $15.4 trillion. This number includes cash, savings accounts, checking accounts, and positions in money market funds. And there's still a lot more to factor in when considering other financial tricks, fractional reserve banking.
So he's talking about fiat currency right now, and he basically said like, majority of the money is not backed by any like actual hard cash or gold. Yeah, which is like concerning. They're just literally printing monies on a computer.
All right, the first reason I mentioned that Bitcoin will fail as a currency is that it is inherently deflationary. There's a reason the Federal Reserve shoots for low inflation. As the economy expands, so should the amount of dollars in the system. But if deflation kicks in, a single dollar would buy you more in the future. Now, that sounds great on the surface, but it pushes people to avoid spending today, knowing they can buy more later. And this can lead to a vicious cycle of decreasing prices and wages. If businesses aren't pulling in more money, they can't pay higher wages. So deflation is bad. And it just so happens Bitcoin is deflationary. There's a finite amount of Bitcoin that will ever be.
Interesting, like I've done economics and it makes sense, but if it's a deflationary asset, that means the value of Bitcoin is increasing. So that means people who own Bitcoin would be increasing their sort of net worth and be able to buy more things with their held Bitcoin. So that means everyone would technically get more wealthier, and people would be willing to decrease their prices to just get some Bitcoin because they know the value of Bitcoin. So I think it's not a bad thing. I think inflation is worse because when prices go, wages can't keep up. Whereas like, for example, if you're paid in cryptocurrency or paid in Bitcoin, even if your wage didn't increase, it would be okay because Bitcoin is an inflationary asset and your wages would increase because the value of Bitcoin would increase. Yeah, which is much better than inflation because usually the wages hasn't been growing at the same rate as the inflation rate. So as a result, people are getting paid less and less every single year. Technically, if you're earning $50,000 today and you're earning $50,000 in 5 years' time, that $50,000 will get you less. Whereas Bitcoin, if you're paid 1 Bitcoin a year, 5 years from now and you'll still pay 1 Bitcoin, with that 1 Bitcoin, you'll probably be able to buy much, much more. It's a good thing that it's a deflationary asset.
Now, the second reason, Bitcoin, although decentralized, has been re-centralized. There's no centralized body setting new rules, and everyone knows the rules and has to abide by them. But to make Bitcoin easier to use, third-party exchanges have popped up. As a result, fees have climbed and so have security issues. Bitcoin fees. It costs a pretty penny to convert fiat money to Bitcoin. That makes sense with the volatility, which I'll explain later, and regulatory constraints, but it also costs to send Bitcoin from one wallet to another. When I sent out close to $500,000 worth of Bitcoin, it cost thousands of dollars in fees.
Okay, so if you send $500,000, even if it costed a few thousand, let's say $3,000 to send $500,000, that's less than 1%. Less than 1% to send money anywhere around the world is insanely cheap because you get hit with 2-3% using payment gateways. You get hit with huge fees actually sending money overseas. Due to currency conversion, converting Australian dollars into USD, most of the time I would lose 2 to 3%. So having a transfer fee of under 1% is actually really good. So I wouldn't be complaining about that. And the talk that it's centralized, not really, because people can take the money and put it into their own hard wallets and they don't need it on the exchange.
Bitcoin miners and exchanges are improving the network, but they're also taking their cut. This makes Bitcoin less cost effective for transferring money. Security. The Bitcoin blockchain is extremely secure, but to leverage it, humans have to interact with it, and we all make mistakes. The transactions are irreversible unless all parties agree otherwise. And as exchanges have popped up, so have more flaws in security. There's room for more errors and other vulnerabilities like social hacking. For example, Mt. Gox and other exchanges have gone belly up. They've lost their users well over $400 million worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree. Like, just don't put your money and trust these shady exchanges. It's always going to happen. And exchanges can be regularized, just like how fiat and stock exchanges is regulated.
Is volatile. Holding on to Bitcoin is a roller coaster ride. It's up 10% one month, down 20% the next. This makes it hard for retailers to accept it as payment. Now, they can try and hedge the volatility, but it cuts into their profits. This is a common stated reason why Bitcoin will fail as a currency.
Now, it's only volatile as at the current moment. Like, if you go back into gold, let's see, I want to see how volatile gold was. Gold price lifetime. Because Bitcoin is still in its sort of price discovery phase where they don't know what the price is. But look at this is pretty like volatile. It looks like a Bitcoin cycle. Okay, gold price lasts 200 years. Let's see if that works. Adjusted for inflation. Look at this. This is pretty volatile, but this is a ratio. Okay, whoa, so gold just be 500, dipped all the way down, went up, down, 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 up, down, down. So like, it's as volatile as freaking gold. Well, maybe it's more volatile and it's going up and down, but then the Bitcoin's going up and down on an upward trend. Whereas gold, look at the last 100 years, it's only went from like 500 to like 1,200. So like Bitcoin went from $1 or like a few cents to freaking $160,000. So it's actually like, it's as volatile as gold. So you're saying gold is a scam and gold will fail.
Bitcoin volatility is an issue other cryptocurrencies have tried to solve. Stablecoin projects like Basis have looked promising. It would have used auctions with bond offerings to adjust Basis supply and keep pricing in check, although the project never launched due to regulatory concerns. Now, one of the best stablecoin projects that I've seen is Libra, backed by Facebook. It has proposed using a basket of currencies to keep its price stable, but many regulators around the world are putting pressure on Libra. Now, the fourth reason Bitcoin will fail as a currency is that it wastes energy. To verify transactions on the public ledger, Bitcoin miners are fighting to solve increasingly complex problems, although it's using major amounts of energy that can be put to better use. Most estimates for total Bitcoin energy consumption in 2018 are above 2 gigawatts. And to put that in perspective, 1 gigawatt is roughly enough to power 700,000 homes for a year.
So this is like a really common argument that it uses a lot of energy, but freaking mining gold uses a lot of energy. Freaking creating energy, burning fuel, burning fossil fuels to run your cars, all those things require energy. If you own a bank, yes, that will require less energy because you're just transferring numbers on a screen. But running a bank is expensive because you're thinking of all these human labor workforces, people at the counter, customer service reps. This is very expensive and those people can be put to better use. So yes, it is expensive and it uses a lot of energy and resources, but so does everything else.
But I've given you 4 clear reasons why Bitcoin will fail as a currency. There's still a sliver of hope. If enough miners on the network agree, they can fork the code. They can find solutions to these problems and create new rules for the Bitcoin blockchain going forward. This happened in 2017 with the Bitcoin Cash fork. Some miners decided to split and support new blockchain rules, but this split polarized some participants and weakened the network. As a result, I don't have high hopes for future Bitcoin forks. Instead, I'm more bullish on the technology that made Bitcoin possible, or a group of technologies that made Bitcoin possible. It's paved the way for new blockchain investment. At first, big institutions and financial minds were pushing back against Bitcoin. In 2017, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, called it fraud and worse than tulip bubbles. But is it the owner of the horse farm who said automobiles are the future? Not long after Jamie Dimon's negative comments about Bitcoin, he did some backtracking. Since JP Morgan has come out with their own cryptocurrency and other firms are following suit.
Okay, so that was a pretty interesting video, and it had some interesting arguments which I don't agree with fully. I see where it's coming from, but I think it's a pretty cynical point of view. It's like he seems like someone that would have said in the 2000s that the internet is a scam. That's what this sounds like. And I think the internet did go through this boom where everything just went uphill and it just crashed, and then it went through price discovery. And now if you invest in tech companies, or not even tech company, internet companies, they're pretty stable overall. So I definitely see where it's coming from, but I think with cryptocurrency, it requires a lot of patience and putting in the amount that you are willing to lose, so you don't have to worry about the price every day. Like, I'm not looking at the price of crypto every single day because I've put in an amount that I'm comfortable to lose, and I know I'm not going to lose it, and I'm just going to keep accumulating. It's a game of accumulation. I really see Bitcoin, like a few hundred years, we'll get to a point where one Bitcoin is worth 100 million, where literally one Satoshi, which is 0.000000001 Bitcoin, is worth $1. I see that happening. And even if a Satoshi is worth 1 cent, that means Bitcoin is going to freaking 1 million. And I see that happening. And that's why I'm going to keep accumulating more and more Bitcoin. And I want to try to get to 1 Bitcoin. That's the goal. So I'm going to keep working, grinding, and putting in an amount that I'm willing to lose into Bitcoin, putting the rest into stuff like, I love investing in domains. I love investing in cars, watches. I don't really enjoy stocks, but I do like real estate. So just invest in things you love, art as well. And NFTs, that's something I'm going to be investing in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow with nothing but more value. Let's go ahead and announce last video's winners for $1,000 worth of courses, a consultant course with me. The winner's here. If you're going to qualify, all you have to do is drop a comment below, follow me on Instagram, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like this video, and I'll be picking the best comment every single video. Peace.